It's time for Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson, sponsored by Washita Valley Respiratory Care and Beth Smith at Edward Jones. He was one of wrestling's most beloved stars. Gene Kiniski was among the first world champions in pro wrestling to have a previous background in football. Canada's greatest athlete, as he billed himself for promotional purposes, was born in Edmonton, Alberta on November 23, 1928, and grew up there as well. One of 6 children of local politician Julia Kiniski and her husband Nicholas, Gene was over 6 feet tall at the age of 17. He wrestled and played football in high school, and in March 1947, he entered the Edmonton School's annual boxing and wrestling tournament at West Glen Gymnasium. Due to his size, he was the lone heavyweight competing. Kiniski then caught the attention of Anis Stukas, a scout for the Edmonton Eskimos, part of what was then the Western Interprovincial Football Union in 1949. Along with Kiniski, wrestlers Al Oming and Stu Hart were at the training camp as well. Kiniski secured himself a spot on the defensive line, and his play earned him a scholarship to the University of Arizona. He later returned to Edmonton to play football for the Eskimos, but suffered a torn kneecap in the team's first game against Saskatchewan in August 1952. He retired from football a year later to resume wrestling full-time. Trained by Joey Funk and Tony Morelli, Gene Kiniski made his wrestling debut early in 1952 in Tucson, defeating Curly Hughes. While in Southern California, he teamed up with John Tolis to win his first major championship, the International TV Tag Team title in Los Angeles, then challenged NWA World Champion Lou Thesz in 1954. He later teamed with Lord James Blears to win San Francisco's version of the NWA World Tag Team title 3 times in 1955. After a brief run as Gene Kelly in Texas, Kiniski began wrestling in his native Canada in 1956 for Toronto's Maple Leaf Wrestling. His feuds with Whipper Billy Watson, Yukon Eric, Edouard Carpentier, and Pat O'Connor pushed his career further. In 1959, he teamed up with Don Leo Jonathan to win the Canadian Open Tag Team Championship. Back in America, he defeated Vern Gagne for the AWA World Championship title in 1961 and captured the WWA's World Heavyweight Championship title in 1965, holding it for 4 months. In 1962, Kiniski began what became the peak period of his career when he went to Vancouver to join NWA All-Star Wrestling, where he challenged Buddy Rogers and Lou Thesz for the NWA World title. While still in Vancouver, he made appearances in other promotions as well, including the WWF, where he had a run with Bruno Sammartino. The pinnacle of Kiniski's career came in January 1966, when he defeated Lou Thesz to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in St. Louis, in front of 11,612 fans at the Kiel Auditorium. During his 3-year reign as champion, he took on other challengers also, such as the aforementioned Don Leo Jonathan, Dutch Savage, Abdullah the Butcher, Haystacks Calhoun, Bobby Shane, Dean Higuchi, Tex McKenzie, and Patty Barrett. Following his NWA World title loss to Dory Funk Jr. in 1969, Kiniski continued winning championships in NWA All-Star and elsewhere. He briefly worked under a mask as the Crimson Knight in St. Louis. Kiniski remained involved in the sport for a few more years, teaming periodically with his sons, Kelly and Nick, refereeing the main event of the very first Starrcade in 1983, and later promoting events while occasionally stepping into the ring. He had his last matches in Winnipeg in 1992 and was the corner man for Dory Funk Jr. in a match between Funk and Nick Bockwinkel at Slamboree 1993. His acting credits include 1978 movie Paradise Alley and the made in Vancouver cult film Terminal City Ricochet. Inducted into the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame in 1996 and the Tragos Thesz Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2004, Kiniski passed away on April 14, 2010 at the age of 81. Till next time, I'm Price Robertson. Amazed by today's trivia? Then join me every Monday through Friday morning for Trivia Tracks on Fox Sports Camden 97.1.